Hi, everyone. It is me, Dr. Shivani Gupta, founder of Fusionary Formulas. And today I want to talk to you about an interesting topic. I've been reflecting a lot on what are the shifts that I need to make in my life to get a different result as we embark on the new year. And every time I'm embarking on a new season or I return from a vacation or a trip, I think to myself, what do I need to change to get a new result, a different result? Or am I even willing to make that change? Or am I just saying that I want a new goal, new result, new thing in the world, but I'm not willing to do the changes and the work it takes to have that? And so as I've been reflecting on this, I wanted to share this with you guys on this episode and just say, what are you reflecting on in terms of your health and how you feel and your energy level when it comes to the work that you do? I have a couple of tools that I want to share with you guys today that have helped me stabilize where I am on my vibrant health journey. If you don't know me, my name is Dr. Shivani, and I'm an Ayurvedic health practitioner. So I'm pretty obsessed with vibrant health. I'm pretty obsessed with how we put rituals and habits and supplements and teas and all these things in place, self-care in place, so that we have like a foundation. And that foundation is what we live by. And then we get to add things on top of it. So if you don't know me, my background is that I've studied Ayurveda for over 20 years. I did my master's in Ayurvedic sciences and my PhD on turmeric. And so people know me as the turmeric girl. And I happen to be pretty obsessed with turmeric and what it can do for our bodies from an inflammation standpoint, antioxidant, and immune standpoint. And I've been on quite a journey with my own health. Typically, if you meet someone who's a health practitioner, it's because they had their own struggle. And like everyone else, I had my own where I was taking a lot of antibiotics in college and in high school, and they really damaged my gut. And I had no idea why, but I always felt like I had an immune system that wasn't supporting me at all. I felt defenseless. And I remember getting so frustrated about it in college that I told my parents, let's just go to these detox spas in India. Like, I need to understand, what is Ayurveda? How can yoga help me? We're going to India every year of our lives, but why have we not immersed ourselves in this? And when I did, that's when I realized, whoa, like Ayurveda is a system of medicine and health and healing from India that's over 5,000 years old. And it's a vast wealth of knowledge in terms of the golden nuggets that we can use to have vibrant health, to prevent all these diseases that I was seeing my family go through. And every time I landed in India, someone else would have passed away from a horrible disease, passed away from heart attack, stroke, advanced stages of diabetes. And I finally said, enough is enough. Like, this is not what I'm signing up for. Just because my grandparents have it, all my parents and all my aunts and uncles, doesn't mean that this has to keep going generation to generation. There has to be a way to stop this trajectory. And certainly I don't want this to be the end of life for my parents. And so that really set me on a journey to trying to figure out, what am I going to change? What do I need to change no matter what, so that that doesn't end up being how I end up? And so over the last 6 years, I created a company called Fusionary Formulas. It's a line of supplements. You can see it above me. And I created it because I really wanted to see if I created a really potent curcumin turmeric supplement, could I reduce inflammation to the point that people don't need to take other stuff that's harmful for them or has side effects? And so I did that. I was able to prove that. And now I get to invent new cool formulas and teas to help people. And over that time period, I also became an Ayurvedic practitioner. I see clients privately. And last year, I took all the private client knowledge that I had and all the patterns that I saw, and I created Fusionary Method, my 6-week program. And so I kind of use all the different sessions and consultations I do to look at patterns, styles of people, types of people, the struggles that they have. I'm a researcher, so I'm constantly looking for those patterns and correlations. And that's how I distilled what I wanted to make sure every single person learned from Ayurveda, which is the 6 modules within Fusionary Method. To me, it's so important that we focus on health and not take it for granted. We can't just have decent health nowadays. We can't just be okay and fine. To me, on the continuum of wellness, that's you actually backtracking into potential disease. So many of us suffer from chronic, low-grade, persistent inflammation that's wreaking havoc in our bodies. And our diet, our stress, our lifestyle isn't supporting stopping that inflammation in its tracks. In fact, it's supporting more proliferation. And so that's why when we hit our 40s, 50s, and 60s or plus, we get these diagnoses that are pretty horrific. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be in charge of disease management from 50 or 60 onwards. I'd rather have a retirement that's beautiful and healthy and vibrant and joyful. I think so many of us look around and see so much disease that we think that that's normal, and it's not. It's just modern. And so if it's a modern issue, what are we willing to go back to in the ancient wisdoms or in the ancient lifestyles that can help us solve these issues, that can help us not have that be our end game? I happen to meet people with inflammation all the time. And I meet them once it's already taken its toll. We're already seeing diagnoses. We're really trying to reverse them out of where they're at, but it's a longer, tougher journey. And so my job is to show you how you can live an anti-inflammatory lifestyle now. And that's what I live. I live one where I am choosing daily to make better choices when it comes to my health. I'm choosing daily to put practices and rituals in place that will keep inflammation at bay, that will keep my immune system supported, will keep gut health ignited and on point. So my brain is firing on all cylinders, my energy is on point. Ayurveda gives us the tools to have all of this. And so that's why I love teaching all this wisdom from Ayurveda. And so what I'd like to do is share with you the 5 tips that I think are so important for us to win at our health. Because like I mentioned, I am reflecting on what do I need to shift? And to me, sometimes I don't need to shift anything. I need to just get back to basics and practice what I promised myself I would practice. I don't know if that's the case for you. Sometimes you just fall off the horse and it's time to get back on the horse and put those rituals in place that become your non-negotiables so that they're always in place to support you. So tip number 1 today is do a detox. Now, let me know if you are one of those people who hates doing a detox, hates doing a cleanse. I know that most people dread them and only do them when you really need to get a fast result. But what I encourage you to look at is a detox as a tool you use seasonally. In Ayurveda, we teach people to do them seasonally at the intersection of seasons to really uncover what is poison to our bodies, to release all the toxins, to turn that volume down and let the body heal itself. It's like a reset button, and it allows the body to really clear toxins and start communicating properly. And once that detox is done, that's the time when you can make laws with yourself of what you will and will not do for your health. So for me, some of the most basic rules for myself are, number 1, honor sleep. If I don't sleep well, I am not a happy human and you don't really want to talk to me. So I have learned to really deeply honor sleep as a huge, important pillar of health in my life. It gives me energy. It gives me focus. I eat better the next day. I'm a happier, kinder person. I'm more giving. All those things come from sleeping better. Another one of my non-negotiables is, one of my basic rules really is gluten is poison. For me, gluten is poison in my system. I can have like 2 bites, 3 bites, but beyond that, it wreaks havoc on my gut. I get brain fog. I get exhausted. It's almost like I put glue in my system and I fall asleep. So gluten is something I've given up. Sugar, I've pretty much given up. I won't eat sugar willy-nilly. If I'm at a really nice dinner, I'll take a bite or 2 of the fancy dessert. But other than that, sugar's not part of my life. Not added sugar, at least. Then another basic rule for myself is move your body or else this system doesn't work. So, so fitting in exercise, going to the gym, going to yoga, being religious about movement as an important building block to my health has completely transformed me because my metabolism is always on point. My gut health is always on point. And the minute I haven't worked out for 7 to 10 days, I can tell a huge difference in my energy levels, my happiness, my hormone system, everything just kind of slows down. And I'm like, okay, time to get back to it. And so building that into your life as a daily lifestyle practice that you don't give up, whether you're on the road traveling, whether you're at home, whether people are in town, putting boundaries around your exercise and your time for movement is key. It affects mood. It affects how we manage stress. So it's just so important. And then my number 5 within those basic rules is Ayurvedic self-care is my maintenance plan. So I have body maintenance that I do, and self-care is part of that, whether it's my tongue scraper to detox the body, whether it's tea time is me time. I always have a teacup around and I'm always having my tea. So it's just so important that we make the time for self-care and use that as a foundation for our health. It's a big pillar for me. So I wanted to share some of those with you just so you can start reflecting on what are some basic rules that you've put in place for yourself that you consider non-negotiable? What are some rules you put in place where they might have fallen off and now it's time to bring them back? What are some rules you need to make, but you haven't made, but you know you need to make them? Like maybe it's gluten. So what are some rules you need to put in place that need to become like a law, that need to become non-negotiable to you? So now let's move on. Let's move to tip number 2. So my tip number 2 for helping create the shifts I want in my life is to put back in place the habits and rituals that became part of my lifestyle no matter what. And those include some of the more serious ones. So whether it's, I always take my turmeric gold every day. Turmeric gold is my turmeric supplement in my supplement line. It's right here. Ta-da. I always have my teas on me for tea time is me time. I always sleep by 10 because of Ayurveda. So these are more the structure that you put in your life around time that help you always achieve your health goals. Like they keep you in balance is how I would explain it. So really reflecting on that as your tip number 2. So tip number 1 was detox, and detoxing helps show you what's poisonous and bad for you. Tip number 2 is what are those habits and rituals that you need to have in your life no matter what to have vibrant health. Tip number 3 is setting a target that motivates you. So I have a friend the other day who's like, it's hard for me with my health to stay on point. And one point I always make to people is the road to vibrant health is endless. It's 365 days a year for the rest of your life. Sometimes that's not so motivating. So yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, we should all go to the gym every single day. We should be going to yoga. We should be eating plant-based organic food that's locally sourced from this organic farmer who we hug and love on. We should be cooking our own food at home and making it with love and happy vibrational music that keeps us all, aligned and at our most open to the universe's blissful. I mean, I could go on and on. There's all these things that we could do in an ideal world, but let's get real. Do we all have time for that? Probably not. I have young kids. We have quite a schedule between school and activities and homework and all the things. I'm surprised I don't live off Chipotle more than we do at this point. So it's so important to look at, okay, that's the ideal. What out of the ideal am I willing to do? What matters most? What will give me the biggest impact? How can I implement that or put a system around that? We know the ideal, and I know that it's hard to stick to that year round. So the way I teach it is look at the seasons, choose your on and off seasons like athletes do. They have an on and an off season. Choose targets like a 5K, a Spartan race. Maybe it's a yoga pose. You want to do a headstand. Maybe it's walking 3 miles, but in a shorter time period, like in less than 45 minutes. Find something that you want to achieve so your brain can focus on that target and help you get there. It's important that the target is in place. Otherwise, this feels like something I have to do for the rest of my life. So what's the big deal? I'll just get to it later. We don't have that same level of focus. And I find sometimes I need to lose 5 pounds or I need to lose 10 pounds isn't enough. I've said that to myself at many New Year's, and it's not like it happens and then stays there that way, right? There's too many distractions. There's too much access. There's too much fast food, restaurants, celebrations, parties, friends, trips. There's all these things, even ads. I see beautiful food on Instagram and I crave it. So instead of having to be vigilant and fighting against it all, why not instead write out your plan and live by it in certain seasons? And then give yourself off seasons or a cheat day or a Sunday cheat day so that you have something to look forward to as that time when you will indulge or have more fun. In my program, Fusionary Method, and my Fusionary Detox program that's coming out in the new year, I write out plans for people that work. My goal is to show you how to structure this into your life exactly according to the life you're already living. If I gave you a plan and said you have to go do these 5,000 things, that's not going to be sustainable. So I like to really sit down and look at where you are at and what support you need now to make these shifts and how to do it in a way that's easy. I like easy, quick, attainable things that we can do to start to feel the way that we want to feel. Now let's get to tip number 4. Build a rhythm to your day in life. So in Ayurveda, I teach something called Circadian Rhythm, and that's living according to nature's clock. So if you feel like your life is going uphill, like you're fighting everything, you're tired, things aren't going the way you want to, Ayurveda teaches you how to live a life where you're flowing with the river of life. It's ease and flow. And so that's what I love about it, is it shows you how to become one with nature's clock, and things become much easier. So I build a schedule where my food, my supplements, my tea, my sleep, and my rest, my self-care time are the rhythm that surround my day. They're the structure of my day. And I get to live within that structure because that structure gives me vibrant health. So because I follow that rhythm, I get to have this joyful, optimal health that gives me that energy, that focus, and that drive to pursue my dreams, to pursue my work, to be a great mother, to be a great wife, an entrepreneur, and all the things that I am. And so I really encourage you to look at, what is your schedule? What is your morning routine? What is your nighttime routine? What is your self-care routine in the morning and the evening? How can you shift them to create a different result? It's something I've been playing with for the last few weeks. I've been really harnessing the power of my morning and doing things differently, just to see if it'll provide a different result in my work life. Because I ask myself the question, what are you willing to change to get a different result next year? If you're going to be the same person doing the same thing, I'm sorry, you're not going to get a new result. You'll get the same result. And so one easy thing I started playing with was my morning routine. Whether it's meditation, visualization, getting off social media in the morning, getting on my laptop and building content first thing, writing blog posts, harnessing the power of the morning to give myself the opportunity to get blocks of work done that are so pertinent and important, but I normally just never get to them because life is busy, the day is busy, et cetera, et cetera. So I really encourage you to look at your morning routine and your daily routine. And within my programs, I always teach everyone how to build that routine according to Ayurveda, because it's so key to me. And if you've heard of Fusionary School, that's my free 4-day workshop. I'll be teaching that at the beginning of January and 2 to 3 times throughout the year. You can go to fusionaryschool.com and sign up for that, or check out fusionarymethod.com. That's another beautiful place to find me, where I teach about all these topics. So let's get to tip number 5. This is a big one. When it comes to shifting our health, imagine what is the first thing you need to shift your health. You could say knowledge. That's important. You could say understanding. You could say, the tools, having the supplies, having the food in your pantry. But also, what I think we need the most of is the energy. It's hard if you don't have energy, you're not going to be motivated. If you don't have energy, you're not going to have that drive to go out and set out to do something that's new or different or hard. And so for me, the foundation of my energy comes from sleep. Sleep is when the body is at rest. Sleep is when the body rejuvenates. Sleep is when the body detoxes. Sleep is when the body gets to clear out all the old, make room for the new. So sleep gives us that motivation, that energy, that drive, that joy, all the things to be motivated. And most people think they sleep just fine. And honestly, I have been talking about sleep for over 2 years now, maybe longer, and probably 3 years. Most people tell me, I sleep fine. My sleep is good. And I'm here to tell you that everyone, pretty much everyone, unless you're a practitioner like me who obsesses, but pretty much everyone could improve their sleep. We could all make it a little better. We could all make it a little deeper, a little longer, the different things, a little more optimized, a little more of the cycles of sleep that are rejuvenative and a little less of those light sleep cycles. So I teach sleep as an entire module in my programs. I speak on this topic all over the city and all over the state. I even designed and formulated 2 Ayurvedic formulas for sleep. I made deep sleep tea with all these amazing ingredients to help the body, digestive system, mind all relax and rest before sleep. I also made deep sleep formula. It's a liquid dropper bottle inside here. And my goal was to create something that would help us fall asleep and stay asleep. And if we wake up in the middle of the night, we can take it. I did that last night. I woke up in the middle of the night at 2 a.m, couldn't get back to bed, took it and got the rest of the night's sleep. So I think it's just so important to have tools on hand. But these are the perfect nighttime ritual to cue to the body and cue to the mind. It's time to sleep now. Let's wind down. Let's end up the day and wrap it with a bow so we can get great sleep. And so these are my 5 tips for you. I wanted to do a quick 5 tips on how to start with a healthier, more vibrant season in the new year. If you are taking this time at the end of the year or at the beginning of a season or after a vacation, like I mentioned, to reflect on your health, it's so important to really sit down and journal about it and really reflect on, what do I want? What do I already have? What did I have before, but I need to put some habits and rituals in place again so I can have that again. What do I need to learn? Where do I need to invest my time and energy to go learn some new things to apply to myself? Where do I need to make time and space in my life to learn how to cook or how to do the things that will give me the health that I want? Do I need to see a functional medicine doctor to go deep dive into blood work and understand where I have deficiencies? Do I need to look at my hormonal health and figure out how to balance it? Do I need to reduce inflammation right now? Because inflammation is the culprit for most things. Do I need to take my turmeric gold and inflammation relief by Shivani so that I can get inflammation in check? And then all of a sudden, all these things will start communicating better in my body. There's so many ways that we can create shifts, but like I said, I think it's so important to take the time to reflect on it, take an honest, good look at where you're at, understand what your goals are. Are they aesthetic? Are they health related? Are they because you have to at this point? You got a diagnosis that was really bad and your doctor said, you've got to change. We are living in weird times and people are getting all sorts of weird symptoms and issues and stuff going on. And so it's extra important right now that we invest in our health. And I know that holiday seasons and certain seasons of our lives throw us off balance. And so I'm here to encourage you. Get yourself back into balance. Get yourself back to whole. Find what vibrant health is for you, and let's figure out how to get you there and then put a system in place to maintain it. Because that's the key. Once you can maintain it as your daily life, then when you do have a little bit of a fall, let's say you're at your peak, and then you fall a couple steps because you went on vacation, you had some fun, whatever it may be, you can very quickly pick yourself back up and you're right back on track. And so that's how I like to live life where, okay, I had fun, I was on vacation, boom, now we're back in normal stride. And it's easy to maintain and it's easy to step forward for my health in a way where, okay, that's my daily life. I've already built a system to have it. It's not like, oh my gosh, I need to go do this thing, make this effort, cut all these foods, detox and give up everything. It doesn't have to be painful. I find that with beautiful self-care, with simple lifestyle adjustments, with honoring sleep, with detoxing through Ayurveda, we can truly put a plan in place that will give us vibrant health, optimal health, and help us feel incredible and help us feel the way we want to feel in our bodies. I know for me, I am looking at the new year like, okay, I feel pretty awesome. I feel pretty good. I could do a little better in some areas. I'm having a little too much fun eating out and doing those things. I think I want to improve the menu for my household so it has more nutrition and more nutrient density for all of us. And I want to keep all my healthy self-care practices in place, take all my amazing supplements and teas a little more consistently now that I have a plan to be here in town for a few months before the next trip or vacation or whatever. But it's so important that to me, I shift how I use my time to get a different result in my work if that's going to be my focus for the next 6 months. And I live life according to my dosha, according to my, according to my mind-body constitution. And so I encourage you to look at what it is that your health goals are and how I can support you along the way, how you can support yourself along the way. If you'd like more information, my website is fusionaryformulas.com, or shivanigupta.com, or I'm on Instagram for both those names. And I like to support people to implement Ayurveda into their lives on a daily basis. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you have an incredible new year and feel amazing in your body and in your life. And I wish you well on your journey to vibrant health. Thank you so much.